Nothing like a little friendly competition to prettify a city, if by prettify you include ostentatious displays of wealth and influence. Chapin's main streets are wide, lined with flowering trees, and maintained by whichever guild happens to own the compound beside. Emmonsdeuter couldn't help but feel a twinge of pride at the twisted, gnarled plum trees outside the walls of the Warriors' Guild. The gargantuan plain stones laid out at just the right distance for wagon wheels, or two horses walking side by side, or two columns of swaggering clockswomen and men on their way out to, or in from, glory. She pays attention to the latest decorations as she passes the Potter's Guild. Show-offs, all that glaze. Try as she might, she can't find a way to dismiss her awe at the sheer audaciousness of the Mage Guild. Marble. Where the fuck did they get their hands on all that marble? Could it all be an illusion? An illusion they keep up day after day, night after night for the tens of thousands of Chapinos? No, it's real marble, all right. The ironwork outside the smiths is easier to fathom. The weavers flat out pay youngsters to wash their walls in the street outside every other day. The politicians manage to present a presentable front. She notes the number of merchants out today. Even if the patterns in their dresses didn't mark them out, their hungry eyes and heavy purses would. Emmonsdeuter passes one with an entourage big enough to start a new town. A visitor, she figures. She would know if anybody rich enough to sport solid silver Kluxtout lived in town. She would know that. Now, she admits to herself she actually might not know that. Things change and she doesn't keep up. She avoids the new construction around the gate. There is always new construction around the gate. At first it was to contain anyone or anything that might come through. Recently it's to keep it safe from anyone, any bratch that might try a strike at the heart of Chapin. No one asked her opinion about the defenses, which is good. The whole complex has gone xeno-friendly. She thinks she can smell them. So, Emmonsdeuter takes the long way round to River Gate. The old city wall is looking just as impregnable as ever. Gates and portcullises and murder holes and the collapsible bridge beyond the guards she passes. Over the greater Cloy, running at half its spring rain level. Into the new Chapin Ring. Aside from the indispensable boatmen, the ring is all residences, shops, and second-tier guilds. Narrower streets, but more and better fountains. Less awe, greater comfort. More plum trees. Pretty damn well shaped, too. Emmonsdeuter makes a mental note to check on who paid for that to happen. Knows she'll never follow up on it. Is comfortable with the way her inner workings don't always work. Streets end abruptly at sacred groves. Emmonsdeuter tries not to look at them. The outer wall is low and ramshackle at its nearest to where she's headed. Constructed over generations without anything resembling a plan, it would definitely delay a determined enemy long enough to get inside the real wall, so there's that. Outside the outer wall, more groves, lumberjacks, gatherers, hunters. Dirt roads with enough sunken stones and planks to keep travelers from having to slog knee-deep during the rainy weeks. Plenty hard right now. They bend with the contours of the land, their builders not smart enough, motivated enough, or wealthy enough to impose straight lines. Emmonsdeuter walks a road between two sacred groves. Trees on either side tall and thick, and each trunk probably host to 3 or 4 generations by now. She's a little queasy at the thought. And she can't help but watch a line of twitchers. Their leader, a little slimy excuse for a clocksman somebody hawked up and spat out one day. He does his little twitchy dance moves in front of a really old tree. Emmonsdeuter absolutely certain the tree belongs to someone else. and waits for his faithful to line up. Each puts a hand on the shoulder of the desperate soul in front. He grabs the tree and jerks around. The spasms pass all down the line, and they start their fervent moaning, and fuck this. Emmonsdeuter has enough trouble with the old gods. New ones? Probably xeno-gods? Got about as much use for that as a purse full of pus. She pushes on and past the groves and finds the bridge across Kota stream. Bridge. Sure. Looks like it's made of driftwood and rope. The Kota is maybe a couple of strides wide this time of year and running beneath the surface, so Emmonsdeuter drops off one bank, crosses the bed, and clambers up the other. Taps one thick bridge post on the other side. Not that I don't trust you, you understand. It's the idiots that build you I don't trust. She turns and spots the wall surrounding the Adventurers Guild.